Hello, welcome back to the SWRA podcast, where aging, wellness, and wisdom intersect. I am your host, Maggie Lazar, and I am delighted to have you on. If you are a new listener, welcome to the family. Please remember to share a comment, give the video or the recording a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. I would truly appreciate it. And for those of you who've been vibing with me for a while now, you know who you are and you know how much I love and appreciate each and every one of you. You know, this podcast is about how we age, how well we age, and how wise we become as we enter into this new season of life. Esta nueva temporada or la tercera edad, the third age, as we are heading slowly, sometime, but surely towards the end. Not to be morbid or anything, but this is our reality, our shared reality. So we talk about aging, how well we age, what we can do to improve the quality of that aging process, right? We talk about wellness being a concept, something that we embrace, something that is holistic, that is not just physical. It includes mental, environmental, social, right? So today we're going to go back to the nitty-gritty of wellness and talk about eyesight. Eye health. You know, when you get to be 60, even before I was 60, it was always recommended that you have a regular eye exam because when they're looking into your eye, your eyes, as you start getting older, they're looking for cataracts, they're looking at pressure, they're looking at visual acuity, and you and I both know things start to slow down and not work as well as we age. In fact, the majority of people over 65 will have some type of eye ailment, and almost 100% of us will wear some type of corrective lenses, whether it's glasses or contacts, right? And of course, you're going to say, well, we don't know why. Well, we know why. It's the normal aging process. Just like your knees don't work as well, your eyes won't work as well, your brain doesn't work as well. Okay, we're not gonna get into an argument about those people who tell you drink this tea and your eyesight gonna be corrected overnight. Listen, do 7 minutes of walking and you're gonna lose belly fat. Okay, do you believe any of that stuff? I keep telling you, that's marketing. They want your money. They want you to buy something, a subscription or whatever. But being aware that there is aging that goes to the eye, things like cataracts and glaucoma and dry eyes and macular degeneration, right? Presbyopia. Listen, I used to have a TV program, believe it or not. I was interviewing people before social media was a big thing, and I had this show in Florida where I used to interview interesting people, which I still love to do. I love to interview folks. And I asked him, he was an ophthalmologist. He said, Maggie, it's not if about cataracts. It said it's when, because he was going to operate on my mom. But you know, once you get to be a certain age, 60s, 70s, chances are you probably gonna have some cataracts that will need to be corrected. And we know about wearing eyeglasses because the harsh sun tends to speed up the process of that darkness of the lenses of the eye. But like anything else about wellness, as I was looking at some things earlier before I came on, and things like diabetes, hypertension, smoking, the baddies, they affect the health of your eyes. So that's one more reason for you to be measured and to think through what you are putting in your body and what you're exposing your body to. So chances are you're going to be wearing some type of corrective lenses. I have been wearing glasses since I was in the first grade. I was nearsighted, myopia. And now as I got older, when you get to your 50s, now you need reading glasses, where before you didn't. That is all part of the aging process. Now, macular degeneration is a more, I mean, you can correct, they change the lenses in your eye and you can get, vision corrected, but macular degeneration is a different animal. There isn't really a cure for that. So when you have regular exam, the doctors put you on some kind of medication, eye drops and stuff. I think they have some procedures they do too in the eye, which, I don't like needles. I don't like any of that stuff, but there is something they can do to kind of slow down the progression where they cannot eliminate it. And macular degeneration is a big cause of blindness. I used to have a lot of patients, well, not a lot, several of my patients who would be legally blind. You've heard that, right? And those people who really can't see very well, and then they have to wear the magnifier, not wear, but use the magnifiers. Heck, I use a magnifier sometimes, and I'm not blind. So the other thing that's happening to us as we age is the inability to drive at night. We can't really see the glares and we have issues with depth perception. How many times people say, I stepped down, I did not see the steps. And I mean, a lot of things happen. So we need to really pay attention, make sure we get our regular exam. Let's see what else that we have. Macular degeneration. Oh, retinopathy that you can get from diabetes. Another reason for you to control your blood sugars because eventually they're going to destroy those nerves and stuff in your eyes. And you know what? I cannot imagine a worse thing than being blind. Even though if you were born blind, a lot of people have kind of developed coping mechanisms, and some blind people tell you, they can function really well. But I think to become blind, it's going to limit how well you age. So let's start taking care of our eyes. Get your regular eye appointment, wear your glasses, stay away from driving at night because you don't want to cause an accident and injure someone. Follow the advice of your doctors. There are some vitamins we used to give people at the nursing homes. I don't know how effective those are, right? An ounce of prevention. I always say anything you can do to prevent something from developing is much better than trying to fix it at the end. But let's face it, growing old will humble you, sis. Growing old will humble you because everything starts to deteriorate and there is not much you can do about it. So what you need to do is embrace, do what you can, and let the rest of it go because we are all heading that way. All right, sis. So today was all about wellness. Remember, I said wellness is not the absence of disease. Yes, you can have some limitation in your eyesight, but you could just adjust and keep making your life the best it can be. All right. I will talk to you tomorrow, and I don't even know what the topic is going to be. They come to me as I move around this crazy world, a world that we appreciate, that we live in by moments, right? So, talk to you tomorrow. God loves you. You know I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye bye.